I'm sure most of you have heard the expression, hindsight is 2020. But what does that even mean? It means that you're able to see and understand events clearly and fully only after you've experienced them. You become aware of what went wrong, or even right, what could have been done differently, what alternatives were available. You know, if I knew then what I know now. Well, if that's the case, then 2020 really did give us hindsight. The majority of us were expecting it to be a dynamic year. I'm going to finally get in shape in 2020. I'm going to go back to school or even finish a graduate program in 2020. I'm going to buy a car, a house, get married, start a family. I'm going to pursue my passion and start my business. 2020 is my year. There were so many hopes and dreams and wishes. However, 2020 had other plans. Instead of celebration and success, 2020 brought depression and death. Millions of jobs were lost. Savings were depleted. Houses were foreclosed on. The world was rocked by an invisible enemy that many thought would just go away with little impact. It didn't. Now, more than a year later, there are tens of millions infected and almost 2 million dead worldwide, and we're still fighting it. So, looking back at 2020, we can clearly see that it wasn't a breakout year for most. It produced more pain than progress. It unmasked the ugly instead of showcasing the spectacular. In short, 2020 was a pretty disappointing year. But we're no longer in 2020. It's 2021. Do you want to know what happens when you turn 21? You're officially all grown up. There are no more restrictions on what you can and can't do. You become the navigator of your own journey. You dictate the direction of your destination. All of it is up to you. So let's leave 2020 in the rearview mirror. Instead, let's focus our attention on what's in front of us. And what's in front of us is our growth. In 2021, it's time to grow up. It's time to start working. How many hopes, dreams, and wishes did you let die in the mental stage? How many times did you give yourself an excuse not to do? How many times have you only thought about doing something? You had such a great idea. You were going to do something big and bold. This idea was going to change your life for the better. At least, that's what you thought. However, for some reason, that grand change never came. Your life stayed in that same mediocre place. Your hopes, dreams, prayers, and wishes never manifested. They all continued to linger, just out of reach. Why? Because you never did the most critical thing when it comes to change, when it comes to growth, when it comes to progress. You never took action. You allowed your thoughts and ideas to be enough. You daydreamed and lived in that wonderland, escaping the reality of the mundanity of your life. The dream was a distraction from the truth. You found reasons to not pursue it. You convinced yourself that it wasn't as good an idea as I initially thought. This has been done before. There's no place for me in the market. I'm a nobody. Who would want what I'm offering? Now is not a good time. I should wait until I have more information. You became stuck on stop. You settled safely into stagnation, the familiar. You weren't happy. You were scared. But you fooled yourself into believing you were content. Maybe I should stop complaining. Wanting more, wanting better, wanting progress is not complaining. It's growing. You can't grow if you settle. You can't grow if you don't challenge. You have to get out of the comfort of mediocrity. Push past the obstacle of ambivalence, the shackles of second guessing. Start taking action. I know there are things that are out of our control. No one could have foreseen the chaos that was 2020. The majority of us don't even have control over our pay, our work schedule, if we keep our job, or even when we take our lunch. But none of that matters when you have a plan. Planning requires an understanding of where you are and working within those constraints to get you to where you want to be. When you focus on your dream, you are able to map out the necessary steps to bring it into reality. Growing up requires you to make tough decisions and make sacrifices. It requires you to give up the crutch of dependency on others to take care of your needs and desires. It demands that you let go of the excuses, and it demands that you let go of those who enable those excuses or keep you stagnant because they don't have the courage or the drive to set out on their own journey to progress. Growing up requires a shift in focus and a prioritization of the important things in your life. If you want your dreams to become a reality, then you need to focus on them. Yes, there is the possibility that you will fail. But you know what? There's also the possibility that you will succeed. Why not focus on that? Stop allowing yourself to be paralyzed by what you don't know. Act. You will see that things will begin to fall into place. Little by little, step by step, you will begin to build confidence in yourself. You will become your own biggest and best cheerleader. You will begin to believe more and more in your vision. Think about it like this. If you had an apple seed and you put it in the ground and just left it, would it grow and sprout up into an apple tree with many fruit? Or would it just stay a buried apple seed, even if every day you hoped and prayed for it to grow? Would it? No. Why not? Because you didn't do the necessary work to produce the fruit. You didn't cultivate the land where the seed was planted. You didn't water it. You didn't give attention to it. The same thing goes for your dream, your passion, your purpose, your vision. Your mind is the ground that the seed, that great idea, that dream, that vision is planted into. Don't let it wither in the ground with your inaction. Water it. Do some research. Study. Network. Plan. Take the leap. Make that seed break through, sprout up and grow into a fruit-bearing tree. It's time to make it a reality. So be brave. Believe that you're capable of doing and that you deserve better. You deserve growth. It's 2021. It's time for you and your vision to grow up. That's just my thought. Please share this video with anyone that you think can get some motivation from it. Remember, whatever you do, do it justice.